Horchata. Horchata. I have been enjoying horchata since I was a wee lad. It's something that you find at a lot of taquerias. They come in these like big, giant styrofoam cups that are like 1.5 liters. It's a rice-based drink. I guess it's like a rice milk situation. Seasoned with a little bit of sugar and cinnamon. Super refreshing. It's like creamy, but also super like thirst quenching and refreshing. I don't know, it's awesome. So this recipe is my personal perfect horchata. It's thickened with coconut milk. Oftentimes you'll find condensed milk or evaporated milk in recipes. So this one is dairy free, but it's also just delicious. It kind of has a bit of a coquito DNA as well. This is just going to be a base recipe that you can do lots with. I think we might try to do maybe a horchata latte with it. Also really good with a bit of rum. I've even had it with a little bit of sherry. The history of horchata starts in Northern Africa, which I was very surprised to find out. This drink was originally made with soaked and blended tiger nuts, and it was known as horchata de chufa, I guess.
When you say tiger nut,
it's not what get your mind out of the gutter. Tigers, are there tigers in Africa? Yeah, right? There's lions. I think it is a nut. It might be a legume. It's probably one of those nuts that's actually a legume. The drink starts in North Africa. It's made with tiger nuts. It's extremely refreshing. Everybody loves it. It's valued for its health benefits and its refreshing, cooling qualities. It moves from Northern Africa into West Africa through the Moors and another ugly history stuff. Like, just as a general rule, most drinks have kind of a lot of like really dark colonial histories. From West Africa, it's taken by the Spaniards to the New World. At that point, it's adopted by Mesoamericans. That's when it starts being made with rice because tiger nuts are no longer available. So they adapt, they start making it with rice, and it becomes a huge part of Mexican culture as well, and thusly Mexican-American culture. All you need is a blender, and we're gonna start with just regular long grain rice, or this is, I think just regular rice, I don't know. And we're gonna just do 1 cup of rice. Most commercial rice has already been washed, but if you prefer, you can wash your rice first and put it in. I'm not going to, I don't really care. I haven't found it to be like a big deal. I kind of also like the starchiness of the rice that you would be rinsing away will actually add a little bit more body to the end drink. So that's why I'm not gonna wash my rice. However, it is probably best practice to wash rice whenever you're consuming it. So after playing with the sweetness level, I've come to the conclusion that for this ratio, I like 3/4 cup of sugar. I do 1/2 cup of white sugar, and then 1/4 cup of turbinado sugar. The white sugar adds a nice kind of clean sweetness, and then this just gives it a little bit more intrigue and a little bit more complexity. Because it's 3/4 cup of sugar, and that's going in. And for this amount, we're going to be using 4 cups of water, 1 quart. I'm gonna pour it in here just to rinse out and get the rest of that sugar. Beautiful little water feature. So again, we have our 3/4 cup of sugar, 4 cups of water, 1 cup of rice, and 1 big cinnamon stick. This is the Mexican cinnamon that I get from the Mexican market. I just like to give it a little head start. If you have the shorter, kind of stiffer, harder cinnamon, I would try to maybe break it up as much as possible, or even allow it to like soak for just a little while before blending it, just so you don't give your blender too much trouble. We're gonna blend this up and try to get all of that rice broken up and we get it nice and cloudy. We're also looking for the cinnamon to break down into like small pieces and for a lot of that sugar to dissolve. I'm gonna move this into a container and just throw it in the fridge overnight. Then tomorrow we'll be able to strain out all of our particulates and put the finishing touches on it. It's been sitting overnight. The rice didn't really get broken up as much as I maybe would have liked, but I don't really feel like blending it again. You could, but I'm not going to. I have a sieve with a couple cheesecloth. I haven't figured out anything cool to do with the leftover rice and cinnamon, so. All right, there it is. Now to finish it off, we just got a couple more things. First of which is full fat coconut milk. This is our favorite, Oroidi. Shit's amazing. So we're gonna do 1 cup of this coconut milk. You can tell it's like nice and creamy and fatty. Listen to that glug glug. Okay. Beautiful. Oh, that's starting to look like some horchata, right?
Yeah, it is.
And then our last addition is a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm just gonna put a tiniest pinch of salt in there. I like to serve this with like grated nutmeg. You could also like add some grated nutmeg in if you want. It's really, really nice. But we're just gonna keep this like a really basic, simple base so that we can do whatever we want to it later. It's so good. It's a little bit on the sweeter and thicker side, so it's perfect for serving over ice so that the ice will kind of like melt slightly and bring it to that like absolute perfect refreshing level of sweet and thick. It looks like about 1,100 milliliters. This was meant to make a liter, but it makes slightly over just for the chef snack. I mean, look at that. It looks great.
Looks like a Ramos.
Ramos in a bottle. A little bit of nutmeg on top. Okay, there it is. Smells awesome. Yeah, it's so good. The yin and the yang of creamy and refreshing at the same time. I love it. It's great. This should last like a week. It could probably last more. You know, use the smell test. It's pretty rare that a bottle actually sticks around that long. There's the very good horchata. And I thought it'd be kind of fun if we make a little drink. A little fancy coffee. How about that?
Sounds good.
My idea for our horchata latte is a Nitro horchata latte. I'm taking the creaminess of the horchata and I'm pumping it up to 11. Turn it up to 11. All right, but this one goes to 11. I'm just gonna fill this up to the max fill line that doesn't exist. Horchata in. I have my into cartridge. What's going on? Sounds like a dog getting its paw stepped on. Give it a shake. Make sure we get all of that nitrogen mixed in with the liquid. It's being forced into the liquid and thus nitrogenating it. In order to make sure that all of that nitrogen has the best chance of dissolving into the liquid, we're gonna put it into the freezer for about an hour to make sure that everything gets nice and cold. Our horchata has already been in the fridge. This is already pretty chilled as well, so. Hey, that's hot coffee. Let's try it out. Whoa.
Cool. I think you need whipped cream.
I don't know what's happened here. I think maybe it was like too fatty, but ready? Ha, that's so hot. This looks like shit, but I bet it's gonna taste good. Yeah, that tastes bomb. I'm just gonna put the rest of the coffee in. Make sure you put your finger in. Hold on, let me top it off. It's got like a cool Ramos thing going here. Pretty cool, right? Scooch on over closer, dear. Let me nibble your ear. It makes me feel like I'm in a coffee shop and Jason Mraz is playing. That's the vibe. Pretty epic, huh?
Yeah, but you have something on your face.
Okay, let's try it for the first time. It smells amazing. Get out of town. This is so good.
It's just,
I'm tearing up a little bit.
yeah.
Better? This is better than I thought it was be. I think that espresso is like going straight to my brain. Could have stood to put the espresso in the siphon. Probably would have been fine. I think that might have been a better idea. So maybe I'll try that next time. But all in all, this is bomb. I want to try to just like, I wonder if... Okay. I just want to try just this. Oh my God. You know what this makes me want to do? It makes me want to make a Nitro Ramos Gin Fizz.
Why do you want to nitrogenize everything?
I don't know, because I like the texture.
Whoa, what the hell? That was so rude. What? I was gonna have some.
It was good.
Yeah.
There you have it. Very good horchata and a Nitro Horchata Latte. Banging. A slammer. If you happen to have all the stuff to do it, I say go for it. It's pretty fun. I like to make fun coffee drinks for myself all the time. Makes me feel nice. And I'd say that this is one of the best ones I've made in a long time. Cheers. I get nervous. I get so nervous sometimes.